I'm going to cover access database objects in this lesson. What I have in this database is three tables: clients, pets and visits. A table in a database is referred to as a collection of related data. The data is stored in a table, is structured in columns which run from top to bottom and rows which run from left to right. A column is a field and a row is a record. Each field is identified by a field name. In this case we have client ID, pet name, type of pet, sex of animal, pet birth date and deceased. Running from left to right, as I said earlier, is a record. In this case the first record, we have a client ID of 1, pet name of Jennifer, type of pet bird, sex of the animal is F, pet birth date is 12th of the 3rd 1989, and we have an unchecked box, so this animal is still alive and not deceased. Running across the top we have the menu items for the database, and below that we have the set of tools that are used to construct the database. Now that you have seen what makes up a table, I'm now going to go through and show you how to do a query in a database. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different queries set up. If I open up client pets, you will see that I have selected a number of fields in order to gather this data. The actual structure of a query looks something like this, and what I have is two tables that are linked, and they are linked by common fields, and down the bottom here I have selected the various fields that I want to find my data on. If I wanted to add another field in this query, I would simply select the one that I want, such as pet birthday, double click on it, and it will appear in my query table down below. I can remove that by simply selecting and deleting it. If I want to now select all those records that match these particular fields that I have selected for my query, all I need do is go up to the top and run that particular query. And running the query will now cause all those records that match those criteria to be selected and presented like so. The next thing I want to show you is forms. A form is a quick way of entering data into a database. So for example, the pet subform, if I double click on that, opens up the fields in which I want to add my data, and all I need to do is fill in the relevant fields and move to the next record, and so on, going along each time, adding more and more records. The forms can also allow you to look at the various records as well. So in this case, as you saw earlier, I can scroll through the various records. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records, and again I can enter my next one here. So if I wanted to call the pet name Brownie, for example, I just type the name in, select the type of animal it is, the sex of that animal, and then I put in the birth date and so on. Reports allow you to print and preview the information in different formats, such as labels, lists, envelopes, form letters and invoices. decide the format you want it to be in and the information it contains. So in this particular example, pet visits, this one has been set up to present all the information about the visits to a particular place, such as a veterinary clinic, and that can be printed off. Lastly, what I want to show you is what is called a relationship. Now the thing about this particular database is that it is a relational database, and therefore what I'm able to see is the relationships that I've created between the various tables, which allow me to then select the records. So that is a quick example of database objects.